Hello guys, welcome back. So I wanted to get on live and be able to provide clarity readings for you. We're gonna see if anyone joins. I know I haven't been live in a while, but in the meantime, I'm just gonna pull some cards and give you some clarity about your situation and anything else that you may need. So let's see. Hope everyone is doing great. Hope everyone is getting ready for some holiday excitement. But in the meantime, if anyone has any questions, please let me know. Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna give it a few minutes for people to join. There we are. All right, everyone. Let's see. So does anyone have any questions? If you would like to get clarity about your situation, about your person, let me know. But in the meantime, I am going to go ahead and just give you like a general reading. And then if anyone has any questions, I will be able to answer that. So right now you're definitely looking for a new sense of comfort in your life. So everything that you're doing, you don't want it to be too uncomfortable, because and I don't mean that in a way that you're afraid of step out of your comfort zone, or you're being lazy, or you're being stuck inside of a box. What I mean is that you want comfort and you want happiness, right? So before, you might have gone out of your way. Maybe you had that hustle mentality where you just was such a go-getter. You're like, anything that you wanted, you would have gotten in your life, but you did it in such a way that it exhausted you and it drained you and it didn't really fulfill you, right? So now you're preparing yourself and you're able to look into the future with much more foresight and much more expansion, right? So before, you might have lived in a moment and you're like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna explore that, we'll see what happens. You didn't really give it much thought. You lived in a moment, okay? And hey, Joa, how are you? No, today I'm providing clarity readings for free. So if you are interested, let me know. I was just going into a generalized reading in the meantime while people were gathering. So, how did your business situation go? Okay. We're gonna wait until he comes back, but Right. So now you are being more prepared for the future in a more strategic way. So you're understanding that when you live in a moment without any plan, without any strategy, you're spreading yourself thin. You're getting pulled in different directions. And to be able to have the future that you're looking for, you have to be smart about it. You have to take one day at a time, but you also have to know what's coming tomorrow. What are you going to do tomorrow, right? To be able to build the future that you're looking for. So you have to have the foresight. It's good to be able to live in a present moment, but you also have to have something to look forward to tomorrow. Because being in the present moment can only do so much for us. Imagine how much time is being wasted for someone who just lives in a moment. And it's good to be grounded. It's good to have all of those things. I'm not denying that. But you're also noticing that day by day, you're not really being successful, right? You're not really able to get what you want. You're not being able to accomplish anything. And the way that accomplishment works is that luck meets preparation. So you have to prepare yourself. And then one day, once you get lucky, and it's not even so much luck, it's definitely hard work and preparation. You have to, or meets opportunity, right? Preparation meets opportunity. So when the opportunity will rise, you will be prepared. And in order to be prepared, you have to have a plan for each day. Write out that plan. What is it that you're going to do today to make sure that you are more prepared tomorrow than you are today? Okay. So currently I only have, okay, funding going for me. Final results to be disclosed on 17 July. Despite this, I would like career clarity. Not sure how the next chapter will look like or even when. Well, can you tell me what that funding means? Because I have no idea. Can you just briefly explain? Please. Yeah, but you mentioned like some type of UAIG, so I just thought maybe there's a specific connotation regarding that. Okay. I understand what a funding is, but you mentioned what type of funding as if it had some special meaning to it. That's why I wanted to clarify. So, are you able to tell me, can you remind me what type of business you're looking to fund once again? If you don't mind sharing. Paid newsletter. A paid newsletter. Okay, that's very old-fashioned. Love that. Okay. But you want to get clarity for your career. Now, are you doubting yourself? Or everything that you've done thus far, you feel like it's really not what you're supposed to be doing? Or you just want to see if there'll be anything else that will come your way? You want the full picture. Well, I think where all of this is coming from is that you're definitely feeling restless. Like your potential is basically not being used fully by you. And I don't know if there's some type of limitations in your life. Maybe you're feeling a bit insecure, or it could be money-wise limitations, right? Or it could be some kind of family obligations, right? Where your time is not being dedicated to your future, to your career fully. So your potential, you have much more potential than what you're living up to, right? Makes sense? Because this is why you're being so restless about it, because you realize you have all of this energy that you might be putting it into different stuff, but it's not giving you the reward that you want, or it's not giving you like that direction, that fulfillment that you want to be able to move forward. So everything that you're doing right now, you feel depleted because you're like, I'm trying, I'm doing this, but I'm not getting the reward that I would like to get. So you have to realize that financial independence is exactly what you're doing right now. It's the ability to actually go and try new businesses, new ventures, new ideas. That's also like a part of it. That's also the ability of having that financial independence, that financial freedom. It doesn't always have to, especially in the beginning, or there will be times in your life where you're not going to have that instant reward, right? And that doesn't mean that you're not living out your dream and that you're not living in the abundance. You live in the abundance when you have the ability to go and try new things, when you have that energy to try new things, when your potential is not there yet. You haven't fully reached your potential, and that's a great thing for now because you're still young, you still have a future. That means that there's room to grow. That means that you haven't hit your ceiling yet, but that's great because there will be progress. This is letting you know that there will be progress in your life. Because think about it, if you had felt like you reached your peak in your life, then you wouldn't have that ambition to move forward, or you wouldn't have anything to look forward to. But because you know that you're somewhere here, but you would like to get here, there's a path that you need to cross, that you need to build for yourself. There are steps that you need to take to be able to get from point A to point B, to somehow, somewhere, potentially to get to point Z, right? So, makes sense? And and you have a hard time making decisions. You have a hard time making decisions, making choices. You're very indecisive. You have so many choices that you could take, but for some reason, you're blocking yourself from it. So you have to understand, like in business or in life, sometimes you have to make quick decisions, swift action, and just go for it. Like, don't overthink it. Sometimes you're going to have to go in blindly and just obviously being calculated about it, being smart about it, but like hoping for the best, right? So it's okay sometimes to move quick. You don't have to. By the time you take your time, someone else will take the opportunity. So you have to like move quickly. Okay? Let me know if that was helpful. Joa. You're being quiet. Okay. So, what part of it wasn't helpful? You said not really, you're not being quiet, or I don't, I'm not sure if you're answering my question or the previous one. Can you just explain what you mean by that? In the meantime, if anyone else has any questions, if you would like to get clarity, let me know in the comments. And for Joa, I'm not sure what, part. I said everything that the cards show and everything that's reflecting in your life right now. Okay. I apply for things. I either get them or not. So I was wondering if there was something else coming besides. Okay, so you're wondering about the funding. You see, Joa, look, you ask me if you, if there's, you ask me clarity about career. And I said, are you still focusing on the funding, or would you like to see if there's anything else, like totally different, that's coming in your life? You said just full clarity. So I'm giving you a perspective that I would like you to be open to about how you approach business. So like what's happening to you right now, it's gonna happen like for the next six months to 2 years, right? But then after 2 years, you're gonna have other things that you're gonna have in your life, in your business, in your career, which what was my reading about? The reading that I gave you can be applied for your life, right? Because you wanted a full reading. But if you want me to look into the specific of the fundings for this business, this paid newsletter, then I would need you to say that to me so I can know that's what you would like me to focus on. But to my understanding, that's not what you had asked. So that's why I was able to give you the reading that I did. So if you could just clarify for me, please, so I know that we are on the same page. But in the meantime, welcome everyone. If anyone has any questions, love, relationship, career, spiritual advice, I'm here, I'm available, and I would love to look into that for you. Okay, because when it's a full reading, there's so many, without, there was no specific question to it. So there was so many ways that I could have approached it. There's so many different perspectives that I could have given you. And I honestly think that whenever you have the time and you look back into the reading that I gave you and you listen to it again, I know for sure you're going to find what you're looking for. And there will be answers that you are seeking. As far as anything else besides the UA, LG funding, and etc. There will be so many things that you can finally hear that I told you that would be helpful. Does anyone else have any questions? Let me know, please. Let me know if anyone else has any questions. No worries, love. I am pragmatic. Esoteric business talk is not helpful. Money is what matters. So I wanted the full picture. Is there any money coming either from funding, job, etc.? Can I ask you, do you have any fundings coming? Do you have any type of income right now? Like, are you able to support yourself? How are you supporting yourself? Like, not to be personal, I'm just trying to understand, because you just want to know if there's going to be any money coming in. But, like, do you have a job? Do you have a business that's profitable? Or what is going on? That's, I just, and I don't know if it's a language barrier. Um, maybe. And to be honest with you, to say esoteric knowledge is kind of useless. That sounds very dismissive of what I have to offer. And I never give you any vague, up in the clouds type of answers. I actually give you wisdom that you can apply to life. And you could call it esoteric knowledge, or something that's not pragmatic. But there's a lot of things that you may not even realize that are pragmatic. And my advice and my readings is actually very much pragmatic, and very much helpful. So I don't think what you're looking for to hear from me, I'm not gonna, I'm not the type of person that I would just not be honest with you and tell you something that um I don't know, that's made out of thin air, you know? It has to be based on some type of truth, right? So, everything that I talk about, I've lived through it, I know it, I've been through it. I don't just make stuff up. This is something that I either have learned, something that I know, something that I know is possible. I know how things work, I know the patterns, everything. I'm comfortable, but my job is to create projects from scratch, and therefore I apply for funding to create them. Okay. Well, I'm going to be. So, when you said it's a paid newsletter, is that really what what about that idea that appealed to you? Did someone, were you the one that came up with this idea? Or this is someone else's idea and you have to make sure that you follow through and you present it in a way that people will want to invest in it. So is this your idea or this is someone else's idea that you have to sell to people or to get someone to invest in? So like the paid newsletter, right? Whose idea was that? By the way, if anyone is looking to get a reading and have a question, let me know. Paid electronic newsletter? Okay, can you explain that? What does that consist of? What is paid electronic newsletter? What does that look like? Like e-news? Like when you say electronic, this is like by email? Like, okay. Um, you receive your email scientific updates about a specific theme. So when you say scientific, like this is regarding health or environment, regarding the specific theme. Can I have? And look, you gotta also remember regarding the ocean. Okay, so that already, you gotta like remember that there's only a certain amount of people who will actually want to learn more about the ocean. So this could be like someone who's already working in the scientific knowledge area, right? Like a scholar or a student, specifically about the ocean, or it could be just randomly someone who just wants to have the overall knowledge. So the people who are going to actually apply to this new letter is very, very limited. So it's great that you have ideas, but I think I would want you to start broad. Broad. It's good to have a niche, but it's not every niche works. And not every niche, there's niches like my niche, right? Tarot readings. Um, it can, a lot of people can apply it. It's concentrated enough, but it can be applied to a lot of people. Ocean, it's very, very small, concentrated people that will want to know. Because, like, to learn about ocean, it's not like we're living in the ocean. Do you know what I mean? Like, to be able to know what's going on there. It's a curious knowledge. The type of knowledge I give, it's a must knowledge. Like, people actually want to know, need to know to be able to apply it to everyday, like, relationships, careers, and etc. You know what I mean? So I would want you to keep coming up with ideas, but just make it more broad, like, so it can apply to a broad range of audience. Okay? Because if someone wants to learn about the ocean, they could just look it up. They could Google it. They could sign up for other, you also have to, like, think about your competition. And when it's scientific, like, where do you get your resources? So, makes sense, Joa? Ravi, how are you? How is your night? Okay, I've got 2 blue hearts. Okay, whew. All right. That means something is clicking. Hello. Where are you from, Ravi? Not to be personal, I'm just wondering, where's everybody located at? India, okay. So you're saying what's coming my way? What do you mean? Like, what specific, like, is there a specific area in your life? Hey, Devante. I'm in Buffalo, New York. Nice. How is Buffalo? In Love Life, okay. You're, like, right there by Canada, right? Warm. That's good. Yes. Have you traveled to Canada? All right, Ravi. Let's see what's going on in your love life. Let's see. You travel very young to marine land. Nice. What's over there? What's in the marine land? I've never been to Canada, so I don't know. It's an amusement park. Okay, nice. Was there a lot of water, amusement type of things? Okay, Ravi. Are you just getting out of relationship, Robbie? Like, did you have a recent breakup, or you're thinking about your ex, about a past relationship? Yes, Sunrise dolphins. Oh, nice. I love dolphins. Other sea creatures. Thinking about past. Okay. Yeah, because you're you're someone who has a hard time letting go about of the past. So I see you being stuck in endings, and you have a hard time starting something new. It's like, to you, letting go is a sacrifice, because you have a hard time letting go of the older version of yourself. So Ravi, like, you're someone who's already have moved on. You're someone who has evolved. You're not the same person that you were when you were with that person. The new you today is not the same. So even if you are thinking about the past, even if you're thinking about your love life in the past and about the people that have missed out on being with you and it didn't work out, even if you get back with them right now, it's not going to work out, because not only are you like have evolved and you're someone new, but those people were never meant to be in your life, right? So I just want you to have the courage and the persistence, and keep like have that faith in being able to find new love. The type of people that are going to come into your life right now has to be closer to your level that you're at right now, right? Because like, you got to, when things didn't work out with you with other people in the past, you thought it was because of you, but it wasn't. It was because those people were not on your level. They were below you, so they try to pull you down. So don't blame yourself for things not working out. Just keep moving forward. But now you have to make sure that you choose the people who will bring you up, who will uplift you, who are on your level, right? That way it will work out. Okay. Anyone else has any questions? Thank you for your question, Ravi. Like, a lot of us, and even like myself, me. Okay, Devante, what's your question? Like, even myself, like, and I think it's just the human nature, and it depends on your upbringing, depends on your thinking patterns, depends on a lot of things, what you have been through. But you gotta catch yourself in a lie. Sometimes we lie to ourselves to feel better. Sometimes we lie to ourselves to actually bring ourselves down, and to have that negative patterns of thinking that we are so used to, because it's harder to actually talk more positively about yourself. So people have a hard time thinking positive things about themselves because they're not used to it. They're so used to thinking negatively about themselves. So whenever something goes wrong in your life, you're like, it's my fault. It's because of me. There's something wrong with me. Me, 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 me. No. Sometimes it's the other people who are not able to meet you eye to eye, who are not able to, they don't have the capacity to love. They don't. They're still in a survival. And if you're coming out of survival mode and you're finally living your life and you're like, oh my God, I'm so happy. I have everything that I want. They're not going to be able to give you what you need. Okay? I have this complicated relationship with an associate. Okay. Julian, okay. We had a falling out, been wanting to make amends, want to know if he will reach out. He's supposed to be a soul tie. Okay, Devontae, you said something, a soul tie. Can you tell me what's a soul tie to you? Before I proceed, I just want to make sure, what's your understanding of a soul tie? Because I believe words are powerful, and if there's something that you believe in, sometimes like it really, really shapes your reality and your perspective, and it could, you know, give you more suffering than you need to have. So like a spiritual bond, a companion you're to have a journey with. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. So a soul tie, if you would like me to explain what I believe a soul tie is. A soul tie to me is actually is not a positive thing. Like spiritually speaking, it's actually a negative thing. You never want to have a soul tie with anyone, and the reason why, like, think about it, a soul tie is basically like, this is your soul and this is someone else's soul. And more than likely, a soul tie, what happens is this soul is traveling, right? And you're like after the soul, like you're tied to them, right? You guys are tied. So you're not even able to make your own path for your own soul. Your soul is following that soul's path. And you don't want to do that. Like, you want to maybe think about it. You have to walk your own path no matter what. If you get tangled up with someone else in a soul tie, you want to break out of that, because, and I'm not saying that you are tied to that person. I don't believe in soul ties. Like, I don't think that is actually possible. It's possible to like kind of lean towards, you know, feeling like you need to follow this person, whatever they're doing, whatever they're saying. You know, you're like, oh my God, like, what do I do without this person? It's possible temporarily to be lost in it. But overall, your soul, like, he's always on my mind more than I've ever had for anyone in my life. So there has to be some importance to me, a platonic relationship, I'm guessing. So can I ask you, not to be personal, was there any romantic relationship with this person, or was it just all platonic? Okay. So here's the reason why he's on your mind, because obviously you have feelings for him. You find him attractive, you find him mesmerizing, you haven't expressed yourself. Has he given you any signal, any signs that it might be mutual? And when you said associates, like, do you guys work together? Like, same school? Do you feel like there's too much to risk to be able to move forward? I found lots of guys attractive, but he's different. He stands out a lot more. I mean, associated as someone I just know. Okay. Got it. Okay. So you guys are just like friends right now. Quitting. uh, According to his irritating mind of wisdom acquaintances. Okay. Which is, it's not a bad thing because you still get to enjoy him, right? You still get to enjoy um, this dance that you are having with him, right? So think of it as a dance. It takes two to tango, as you know. And just because someone doesn't have a label of a romantic relationship doesn't mean that it's less satisfactory to you or it's less meaningful or it's less impactful on your life and the way you feel about the person, or there's so many things that you could still be able to earn from this connection without having to have the label of a partners, right? Or necessarily having a foundation for the future. You might have a future with this person. I don't know if they will come around, because to me it's just, this person, they have a lot of blocked emotions, right? They're not able to make a choice about you. I don't know if they have someone else in their life, or there's something else that this person is focused on besides like creating a romantical life in their life. He doesn't quite value this relationship and connections we have as much as I have. Definitely blocked emotions, yeah. So then, like, this connection to him is not as important as it is to you, right? So there's a different level of investment. You are more invested in this connection than he is. So that's number one, is a problem. That's going to create tension, that's going to create conflicts, because when you talk to him, you're actually expecting something. You're investing to get something out of it, right? You're hoping for something. You're you hoping, you wanted to take it somewhere. So when you're talking to him, you're like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna say that, so therefore hopefully one day he's gonna like wake up and realize that I'm the love of his life. That's not gonna happen, because that's not how it works. You have to just totally refocus on yourself and just pull your attention away from this person, because it's just gonna keep, you're only gonna keep getting stuck in this cycle with this person. And that's really the lesson of this connection, is that when you end up choosing someone who doesn't choose you back, or who's not ready to choose you back, like, right, like blocked emotions, different priorities, different investment levels, it's gonna backfire. So yeah, you guys like disagree a lot. There's a lot of tension between the two of you. And I just think that just let go of the expectations. Let go of the expectations and just celebrate him as an acquaintance, as whatever he wants to be, and just leave it at that. And just focus on the community building around you. So you have other people that you could have this relationship with, that you have with this person, right? Okay. Do you have any follow-up questions about that? Devante? Well, because in a way, Julian has, it's like you didn't even try, but he already rejected you. You know what I mean? So you're thinking, if he just gives me the opportunity to try, I know I can prove him wrong. Do you know what I mean? So you were never given the opportunity. You were rejected before you could have even done anything. So that's why it's like he took away the opportunity for you to try. He never gave you that opportunity. Um, and just because someone is on your mind, it doesn't mean that it's meant to be. I promise you. It doesn't mean that it's a soul tie. It doesn't mean that this means that this person, it depends on your healing journey. This person could be triggering something inside of you, right? That's like replaying the old patterns from your family dynamics and etc. Think about, who does this person remind you of within your family, within your close circle of family, right? Someone who had rejected you when you were younger. Think about that. And then you'll have your answer right then and there. Make sense? I can assure you, like, this person reminds you of someone. And you're just trying to, like, replay the scenario. Yeah. But this person is the... It's like some people are so similar to someone. It could be like a parent. It could be, a role model in your life that you looked up to that might have rejected you or didn't give you that fulfillment. It gave you the void. So you're trying to fill the void from the past. So it's not even about Julian, right? It's about you. It's really about you. It's just what Julian represents to you. He represents something. He represents someone. So there's feelings, emotions that is tied to Julian that you're feeling, and you think it's love. It's not. So like whenever you feel rejected, whenever you feel like you're not enough, whenever you feel misunderstood, that's not love. That's not a soul tie. Like some people think a soul tie is a positive thing. That's why I keep repeating myself. To me, a soul tie is not a positive thing. It's a negative thing. So I would try to like not give this person your energy because it's not worth it. Okay? Any other questions? Does anyone else have any other questions? Let me know. I still have a few more minutes. Well, I did ask you, does anyone remind you of Julian, or does Julian remind you of someone from your past? Like someone you grew up with, someone that you used to look up to, right? And you might not even recognize it now, but perhaps you will in the future. You'll be able to. Not at the top of my head, yeah. I don't know, I would have to do like a full reading with you, Devante, like maybe like a video reading, so I can get more in depth about your situation. It's just, this is limited because you're in the comments only. I'm not able to like see you. And I don't know like how personal we can get. So, you know, I don't know. It could be like he could remind you of a mother figure. He could remind you of a father figure. He could remind you of a sibling, an uncle, or someone, right? Who is he similar to? Think about that. And it doesn't have to be like, and I don't mean like in a physical sense. I mean energy wise, behavior wise, action wise, or just how you feel around him. You feel like he misled you, Devante? Was he really misleading you, or you wanted to believe it? Did he give you any promises? Hey, Carrie, how are you? Others have said you have a bond. Well, that's the thing. You want to be careful what kind of advice you take from other people, because I'm sure they meant well, and you have to understand friends. Sometimes friends will tell you what you want to hear, or some people will tell you just to like get you to dig deeper into this fantasy or illusion that you may have, right? So of course the bond is there. I'm not denying that the connection is there, but it's not the type of connection that you will be able to actually turn into something. Not good. Okay, Carrie, what's going on? What's going on, Carrie? Really stressing over the possibility of Nixon and I reconciling. Do you see us getting back together in the near future? Does he still have deep feelings for me? No contact, separated about a month. Okay. So a month of no contact. And how long you and him were together for? Thanks for the advice and feedback. I'll try to work this out and then move on. Yeah, you're welcome. Anytime. Ooh, okay, Carrie. That's heavy. So it's almost 2 months. Every time we speak, we get into it. Okay. I thought you said it was no contact. So you guys do have limited contact. But right now, you have decided to do no contact on your part. Like you've decided that it's time for you to move on, right? Only phone. So you're still in contact, but you're you're tired. You're tired, right? Um, Look, I know right now you're thinking of ways to try to get back to where you were once before with this person. Like you're thinking of creative ways to, what can I say? What can I do? Who can I be? What if we don't talk for 2 months and then we'll be able to get back together? Everything will be okay. It doesn't happen that way, right? Because the damage has already been done. So I don't know if there was some type of infidelity, betrayal, but there is already like an ending and a loss, right? So this is like final. This is a final loss of that connection. It doesn't mean it cannot happen in the future, but in order for it to happen in the future, you have to understand that it's a loss, all right? So the connection, the relationship is over. And right now you are grieving, and this is a process. So once something is ended, if you try to go back to it, you're still grieving it. You're still grieving the loss. So you're not going to be able to be in your logical mind to be able to repair anything. You're not going to have the energy that you had in the beginning of this relationship to try to make it work. There has been too much stuff that's been happening for the past 6 years that are weighing heavily, and the reason why it ended in a breakup. So you can't just repair it by going back and talking about it. You have to let it go for now. Don't think about what and to truly let go, you have to, you don't have to pretend that you're moving on. Like a lot of people, oh, I'm just going to pretend, I'm happy, I'm not going to, you're going to have to cry it out. It's a grief. It's like death. It's literally like death, that person that person is gone from your life. Like I think you're finally waking up to the reality of things. And you might have already like mentally checked out from this relationship a long time ago, but your body and your nervous system is finally catching up to it, and you're panicking. You're like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. I need to go back to him. I need to grab him and keep him, because if I don't, then what will happen? So it's like the fear of the unknown, the fear of the future while you're grieving. So just grieve for a little bit. However long it takes you, you still have time to build the future. You still have time to build a family, to build the marriage that you want, and etc., the relationships. Celebrate the fact that you were with this person for 6 years. Don't dismiss the fact that just because you guys have broken up, the past 6 years do not matter. Of course they matter. They were beautiful in their own way, so just be able to be thankful for the time that you were able to spend time with this person. Be generous about it. Wish them well, but it's time for you to grieve. And I just don't, for reconciliation to happen, there has to be a process, and it's a long explanation. If you want, you could, there's a PDF, there's a digital guide on my main page, like on my channel. There's a link that I posted, and I created this PDF for people just like you. So it's basically how to move on, how to forget about your ex and reclaim your power. So this would be perfect for you to just kind of get your mind off of things and be able to move on for now and know how to move on and know how to grieve the right way. Okay? All right, guys. So I am going to wrap up. You're welcome. I hope everyone has a good night. Thank you all for your questions. I will be back on. And I appreciate all of your comments, all of your likes. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow, make sure you come back to visit me again. And I will see you next time. So Tanya, I am wrapping up. I am ready to go. I hope you have a good night, okay? I hope you have a good night. Thank you. Bye.